For one thing and one thing only, to make $10,000 specifically in a day. And now, why should you believe me? Well, my name is Abdul Kawi and I've been selling online since 2013, which was when the gold rush of e-commerce started. So I got into the space. I made $346 million. And now I'm documenting how I'm building Phoenix watches to the $100 million mark. So is it really possible for you to make $10,000 in a day? Yes, it is, because the e-commerce industry is projected to make $7.9 trillion by 2027. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can get a piece of the pie and be financially comfortable so you can live your dream life without having to slave away your hours for the puppet masters, where you have to wake up every morning and work for unnerving hours and be dead by the time you get home. So let's dive into it. Now, this video is going to be divided into 3 phases, right? And these 3 phases are very, very important for you to make your $10,000 in a day, which is $300,000 in a month. Now, don't be overwhelmed, because I am going to simplify this for you to be able to execute by the time you're done watching this video. So you should get your notepad ready, because I am also going to be explaining to you as I've written it down in my notepad. Now, the first one you want to put in place so you can execute on it is having the right product. Now, I know everyone says, yeah, winning products. There's nothing like winning products. It's really about having the right product and then knowing how to market the hell out of the product that you're going to sell. This is very, very important for you to do. Now, you don't need to create a new product. You don't even need to go look for a groundbreaking product to sell. What you do need to put in place for you to be very, very successful is to find an existing product that is being sold in the market. And how do you do this? You can easily go on trends.google.com. On trends.google.com, it will show you the products that are already selling, and you can determine by how frequently is it searched for. If a product gets at least 50 searches daily, now get this, that shows you people are actually searching for this product. And now that's the first tool that you can use to verify and validate the data of what people are already looking for. But the next tool that you will use that will show you what people are actively looking for is Amazon movers and shakers. And I know I've said this before in one of my past videos, but it bears repeating, because 1 out of every $5 that is spent online is spent on Amazon. And this is because it is the easiest platform for anyone to get their products shipped to them immediately, and consumers are always looking for convenience and ease of use, right? Now, you're not going to sell on Amazon, but you will use Amazon movers and shakers to validate and determine if people are actively buying this product. Now, once you identify that, you then need to understand, how can I build a brand around this product? And as you see, it is very, very important that you learn how to build a brand around this product, because you don't not just want to slap a product with any random logo and think, yeah, you're selling something. No, what will differentiate you is your core brand mission, core brand values, and also understanding how to sell it properly, which leads to the next point. But before I move to the next point, if you're finding value in this, I am asking you for just one favor: subscribe to my channel, because my goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of this quarter. Now, back to what I was saying. Once you found the product, then you want to figure in your profit margins. I do advise that when you want to sell a product, you at least have a $100 profit margin. And I tell this to members of my community, Ecom Accelerator, that when you're looking for a product, you need to mark up the price by at least 20x. And this is important because you're going to factor in your operational expenses. How much you're going to spend on software, payroll, and all of this are very, very important. As you can see, this is very, very detailed, which leads to the next point: positioning. Now that you've found out the product that you're going to sell, you figured out your profit margins of the product, you now have to position yourself as the right authority in the space And that can't be done by just picking a product on AliExpress and selling it. Consumers are getting a lot smarter. So what you do want to do will be to figure out how can you innovate better, how can you separate yourself from the market? Because if everyone is already selling a product, the only chance that you stand is to find out how you can sell it properly, better than the rest of the people in the market. And I'll give you an instance. If you were to sell a bag, look at how Telfar has emerged in the market, and they are now selling something that everybody wants to be a part of. Beyonce has rocked Telfar bag, and there are other people that have rocked the bags, right? You want to capture a specific audience. You do not want to sell to everybody. You do not want to sell to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You do want to sell to people who have, one, the purchase power, two, are going to come back, that is, become repeat buyers, and then three, they will refer you to other people. Now, how do you position yourself? Is by one thing, having a core brand mission and vision. For instance, if you look at Nike doesn't sell t-shirts or athleisure wear. Nike sells the vision that you should go chase your dreams. You should just do it. When you look at Red Bull doesn't sell you drinks. Red Bull sells you the desire to be more, to do more. When you look at Phoenix watches, we do not just sell watches. We tell you that this is for the men who dare to be. So finding a product is cool, but how do you get to $10,000 a day is by having a mission that other people want to key into. And unless you do this properly, you wouldn't get into it. Now let's look at the maths. How do you get to $10,000 a day? Well, first, you need to find a product that fulfills these two criteria. One, it needs to solve a problem. And two, it already needs to be in demand. So what you have to do is just position it differently, right? If you look at some products that are selling right now with the research tools that I give to you, you can then decide how can you sell it in a different way? How can you market it in a different way, right? One of the brands that I've built in the past, I talked about how we took a product from being just a shapewear to something for women who are dealing with postpartum self-image issues, right? You will not be able to make $10,000 in a month, talk more of making $10,000 in a day if you don't do this correctly. Then that leads to the third thing, and this is the most crucial part of it. I mean, every point I've mentioned so far is crucial, but this point is very, very crucial, which is you need to get as many eyeballs as possible on your brand. Listen, if you do not know how to generate attention or keep attention, you are not going to last in this industry. You will not make any amount of money worthwhile. And there are two ways for you to get attention. You either learn how to market organically with content, or you learn how to drive traffic with paid ads. But either ways, you do have to figure out how to do one of these two things. So this is the maths. If you know that you need to get 100 sales in a day for you to hit your goal, because this is it. They net you $100 in profit, and you need to sell 100 units in a day, which will help you make $10,000 in that day. If your products are converting at 10%, that is, you need 10% of people who come to your website to end up buying, that means you need to get 1,000 people to your website. So how do you get 1,000 people to your website in the first place? That is where what I share in my community also matters. Plus, I made a video that talks about how you can use TikTok to find winning products, and also use the TikTok Creative Center to find winning products. So you should definitely check out that video on how you can do this. Now, how can you go about getting as much eyeballs before your offer? There are two books that I'm going to say you should read. One is Cashvertising. Cashvertising tells you how to tap into the human desires to sell anything on earth, anything possible. And then the second book will be Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. It goes into as much details. I think this is the most condensed book you can ever read when it comes to the psychology of selling anything. So if you do know how to market, if you do know how to sell properly, then you are going to get people's attention, and then you'll be able to get them to come and buy over again. And now I know this is not just some random video that is made on the internet. This is specifically for people who want to understand what it takes, the nitty-gritty of what it takes to make $10,000 in a day. And I know this, I've done this over and again, and I'm currently documenting how I'm building Phoenix watches to the $100 million mark. And I could go much more in depth, but I do know your time is valuable, my time is valuable. So if you want to learn more, then you can go to the link in the description to apply to be a member of Ecom Accelerator, where I do breakdowns and share insights on how to build successful multi-million-dollar brands. Plus, you can check out this video that I go in depth on why Graza is a $48 million brand in 2024 and how you can replicate the process. And you can check out this playlist on the Ecom brand building blueprint that you can keep watching so you understand what it takes and the processes it takes to build successful multi-million-dollar brands. Now, if you found value in this, let me know in the comment section, and let me also know what videos you would love to see more of. Now,